Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss Raft Foundation. It is also called MAT Foundation. Myself, Dr. K. Yuvraj, Department of Civil Engineering, K.S.Rangasamy College of Technology. This is very important types of shallow foundation used in situation where soil is weak and loads need to be spread over a large area. You will see raft foundation being used in high-rise building, industry, bridges, and even underground metro stations. Okay, these are the list of contents. We will discuss one by one. Introduction to mat foundation, advantages of mat foundation, factors affecting mat foundation, followed by materials required and the construction process and the types and design for mat foundation. First thing is introduction. A raft foundation is basically a large concrete slab covering the entire footprinting of a building. It supports multiple columns and walls together instead of individual footing. It is mainly used when the soil has low bearing capacity and it has individual footing would overlap and different settlement need to be minimized. For example, most metro stations in India, high-rise apartments in cities like Mumbai and industrial buildings with heavy machinery are supported on raft foundation only. Okay. The advantages of mat foundations are it has distributes load uniformly, so chances of uneven settlements are less, and also it has provided a large contact area reducing soil pressure and it has useful when more than 50% of the area would be covered by isolated footing is the main advantages, and that also it has provided extra stability in soft or loose soil, and also it required less excavation compared to pile foundation. Okay, these are all the main advantages of mat foundation. Then next one is the factors affecting mat foundation. Majorly soil condition, groundwater table, load characteristics, thickness, and then cast versus alternatives. These are all the major causes are affecting the mat foundation. In the soil condition, less bearing capacity, less compressibility affect the mat foundation, and then higher water table also affect the mat foundation, and the vertical load, lateral load, and overturning movement also affecting the mat foundation. Okay, right? And then thickness of mat, it should be fully based on the bending moment and punching shear around the column, so it also base mainly consider on mat foundation. Okay, and also in Gujarat earthquake 2001, building with raft foundation performed better than those with isolated fitting. Okay, next one is the material required for mat foundation. The main materials are concrete, reinforcement steel, formwork, waterproofing membranes, subbase. Okay, in the first one is concrete. It has a higher strength and durable when concrete is used in the mat foundation, and the reinforcement steel, it has resist a bending and shear strength, so it has good ability to resist the soil. And then formwork, it has made of timber, steel, or plywood. And then waterproofing membranes mean it has essential when groundwater table is high. Okay, and then subbase, it generally use lean concrete or sand filling to provide a smooth and stable basis. Okay, example, in waterlogged area like Calcutta, waterproofing admixture are added to raft foundation to avoid the seepage into the basement level. Right. Next, construction process of mat foundation. The raft foundation are built step by step, excavation of soil to the required depth. After that, preparation of subbase with lean concrete or sand, followed by formwork fixing around the boundary, then reinforcement placement for top and bottom of the mesh, finally concreting in the layer or panel using vibrator to remove air voids, then concluding curing for at least 7 to 14 days to gain the strength, finally waterproofing and finishing if required. So these are all the construction process of mat foundation. During the construction of Delhi Metro underground station, large raft were cast in panel because casting a single slab at once was not practical. So mat foundation is very important for the shallow foundation. And then types of mat foundation. Here several types of mat foundation are used based on purpose or soil condition, right? The first one is a flat plate mat, second one is a flat plate with beam, and then two-way slab and beam mat, and then box mat and piled raft foundation. Okay, so several types of foundation, mat foundation were used based on the application. In the first scenario, flat plate mat. Okay, it has uniform thickness used for light load. This one is a figure, so it's a flat plate mat figure for your reference. Okay, here plan elevation mentioned, okay, for your reference. After that, flat plate with beam, it has extra stiffness with beam between column. Okay, here various columns are there, so beams between the column, it has provided the extra stiffness. Followed by two-way slab and beam mat, it has very heavy column load it contain. Okay, the figure shows the two-way beam and slab mat, plan and elevation here shown for your reference. Okay, and then box mat. Box mat, it consists of hollow boxes and it is used for heavy loads. Where heavy loads occur mean mat foundation or box mat foundation will be recommended. Then piled raft foundation. Here combined of raft and pile for very weak soil, mostly recommended piled raft foundation. Okay, here piles in vertical column, mat in horizontal slab. Okay, below the ground level we have constructed. For generally flat plate, it is used for small office building, and then beam mat generally recommended for commercial building, and then cellular mat generally recommended nuclear power plant or very heavy industrial complexes, it will be recommended. And finally piled raft, it will be recommended the IT park in Bangalore or any other places where clay soil needed extra support, piled raft it will be recommended. Then design of mat foundation. Here the design process include calculate the total load from the structure and find the soil pressure under each column considering the eccentricity, and then ensure soil pressure does not exceed safe bearing capacity, followed by divided mat into strip or panels to calculate the bending moment and shear force. Finally provide reinforcement accordingly both bottom and top. So these are all the factors to be considered for designing of mat foundation, right? In general, in practical, software like StatPro or SAFE is used to design the raft foundation, especially for a large project like a mall or IT park. Okay, here conclusion from the design of mat foundation, we need to calculate the total load from the structure. After that, the total load, after that soil pressure, and then safe bearing capacity, and then bending moment and shear force, all the details we need to ready to before designing of mat foundation. Okay, in the conclusion to the summary of the presentation, raft foundation are used when the soil is weak and heavy loaded need to be a spread, and then they minimize differential settlement and are suitable for high rise, industrial, water retaining structures. Then they require proper design to resist bending, shear, uplift forces. So remember, raft foundation are like a boat floating on a soil. Just like a boat, distribute its weight across the water. So a raft foundation distribute the building loads across the soil. So these are all the content, very much important. Okay, then design of mat foundation at all, it also include effective depth of the footing we need to calculate, and also bending moment diagram we need to calculate before designing of mat foundation using a StatPro or else any software, and also calculate the reinforcement per area, unit width of section. Okay, all the things we need to calculate before designing of mat foundation. Thank you all, thank you for watching.